This is the Footbrawl Podcast with your hosts, Tyler, Andy, and Boyer.
Bingo.
Welcome back to Mantasy Footbrawl Podcast, presented by your performance-enhancing dads. What's happening, fellas?
Not much.
Just another day in life.
Nice to have you back, man.
Thanks. I guess it's good to be back.
Listen, podcasts go quick without you. Podcasts go quick without you, so we'll see how tonight goes with you.
It's probably a lot less fun without me, though. Who's going to argue with Andy about everything under the sun?
That's fair. All right. So let's run down week 14 real quick. This will play into playoff pictures. I beat Chris by 3. Walker went ahead and beat Jeremy. Duo beat Charlie. Boyer pulls out a win over Fryer, which is going to come in handy here shortly in playoff picture. Colin beats Paul, which will come into naked picture shortly. And Andy takes down Robbie, which helps Boyer in this playoff picture. So with that, Andy has clinched playoffs at 9-5 in the top division. I've clinched playoffs at 10-4 right now. Walker is at 11-3. Pretty much puts us at the 1-2-3 Walker, me, Andy. Now it's who gets that wild card spot. Andy, you want to give me a quick rundown of scenario here? Pretty quick, pretty easy.
Yeah, so we've got 4 teams at 7-7. So wild card's going to be 8-7 because Boyer and Robbie play each other. But Fryer and Duo are both 100 points behind Boyer and Robbie. So barring anything remarkable, it's going to be the winner of the Boyer-Robbie matchup gets wild card. So nice that they're playing for something. Kind of bummer that pretty much everything else is locked up, including naked, because Paul is now a game behind both Jeremy and Colin. So even if Paul manages to win this week and either one of them lose, Colin's got 160 points on Paul right now. So Colin's safe. Jeremy's got 34 points. So
it's possible.
Maybe, but I mean, Paul would have to win. Jeremy would have to lose, and there'd have to be a 34-point swing there. So,
well, if you want me to be honest, if Paul's going to beat Chris, there's a possibility of a 30-point gap being covered.
Yep.
That's true.
Because
Jeremy's team's been decent lately, though.
Yeah, Paul's got to put up 90 to 100 at least, and Jeremy's team can hit a lower score. I'm not saying it's probably going to happen, but there's that possibility. But Colin went ahead and solidified himself out of that picture, which is nice for him.
Yep.
So that'll lock up, Fryer, probably Chris, Duo, and then the loser of Charlie or Robbie and Boyer to go into consolation. Everybody else is out.
Yeah, now
Charlie and
Andy,
Chris are fighting for that last spot right now.
Andy, if you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think I needed you to technically beat Robbie last week. I believe is that if he had won, let's pretend like with the same total, like you just sucked, then as long as I still beat Robbie, since I have like a 10-point lead on him or whatever, it would still be the same outcome.
Yeah, that's true. Because you've got like 9 points on him right now, and winning obviously means that he doesn't catch you in points, but it would look a lot closer because you'd both be 8-6. But yeah, you are correct.
Okay.
I think the difference there, no, because that would change things because I'd be 8-6, Robbie'd be 8-6. If Fryer beat me this week, Robbie would win the division and you would get wild card. Well, it would come between me and you in points at 8 wins if Fryer beat me this week. So that's the difference.
So the difference is for you is that you've locked up, but essentially it doesn't change really what I would have needed to do, which was
you got to win either way.
Robbie, and I would have made playoffs somehow, shape, or way.
Yep.
Well, good work then on getting the win because you apparently needed it. Would have made that top division look real close.
Yeah, we came pretty close to that everybody tie at 8-6 scenario.
So we'll go into we talked about playoff scenario. Let's talk about a little playoff prediction. We can talk about who's going to get into wild card when we get to star sits. But if you want to predict the wild card to win it all, feel free.
Do we want to do our last week's picks first?
Yeah, that's fine.
Since
Go
we were
ahead.
talking last week. So Boyer got 4. He got me. Well, okay. We all picked Ty Walker duo. We all got those 3 right. Ty picked Boyer and missed on the other 2. So Ty got 4. Boyer picked me and missed on the other 2. So Boyer got 4. And I picked all 6 right. So for the first time this season, I am in sole possession of first place in the picks conversation. Boyer's been in first since like week 7, and he and I were tied for pretty much everything up to that point.
And
I'm up by 1.
I diversified and still made up no ground. So here I am.
Lost ground on me. So season long count is 52 for me, 51 for Boyer, 47 for Ty.
Hey, Ty, you've
about out.
managed to keep pace after you were looking like you were going to fall way, way behind.
Am I naked in this one? Should I just start now? Or
I don't think we came up with that rule. We probably should have before the season, though.
I'd like to.
Live on podcast. Here we go. Let's just we can't do that. YouTube will not allow that.
I don't think they will.
All right, now we can do playoff predictions.
All right, quick playoff predictions. Who you guys got?
So it's going to end up being what, Ty versus Wildcard, and then Andy versus Walker.
No, it's gonna be me versus Andy and Walker versus Wildcard.
Walker's the game up on Ty. So unless
Walker loses and I win, and then I'll jump him. But right now, I'm not guessing Walker's gonna lose. He could, but
I think either way, it's probably going to be Ty and Walker in the championship. Been the 2 strongest teams for a while now, and I think Ty's just got too much firepower. I mean, that's assuming that nobody dies in the next couple weeks. But
assuming health.
Yeah, I mean, I like Walker's team. He's got an obviously good team. I'm not saying it's going to be by a landslide, but I mean, all year we've been looking at Ty's team on paper, and you've lost what, 1 game last 10 weeks or 11 weeks or something silly.
I lost 3 the first 3.
Right. So I don't think that that's necessarily going to stop suddenly. I think it would be a great championship between you and Walker, but I'd go with Ty.
I'm agreeing with you that it's going to be Ty and Walker, but I'm going to go with Walker. These teams are both very good. Ty obviously has the edge with Kelsey. Mark Andrews hasn't really been very good the back half of the year, but Walker's
I've got an edge at quarterback too.
Well, yeah, with Kyler going down, but at the same time, Walker put up 113 last week, and he got a combined 2.5 points from Mark Andrews and Kyler Murray. That's a good team. Like, I mean, it's a coin flip either way. You're both pretty stacked teams at this point. Ty's Mahomes Kelsey combo is probably giving him the edge in terms of who the favorite is, but I still think I like Walker's team to do it.
So the one thing I've been looking at with, because I expect to play Walker, like you guys have said, the one thing I've looked at on Walker's side, which makes me feel slightly better about my chances, is that Pollard Zeke combo plays Tennessee, and they're at least a decent run defense week 17. And if that doesn't go off, I think I can beat Walker, but I'm kind of with Andy. Walker's been putting up points. Like, yes, I have more points on the year than he does, but he's been hot lately. So I think it's gonna be a great matchup. But
you're gonna need T. Higgins.
He's got Ayuk on the bench. He's got the guy scoring 84 touchdowns on the Packers.
Christian Watson.
They had a bye, so his name's gone from my memory.
I mean, those are fine, but we're talking if you're going to beat a good team in Walker, you're going to want your best team playing, and hopefully playing at a high level. So it'd be nice to see Higgins. He's supposed to be, I think, day-to-day right now, so it'd be nice to see him get some work this week and then some work the next, so that way if you do make the championship the following week, he's well integrated back in. The Bengals are in their playoff push, and hopefully that works out. But I think that you're going to need Higgins.
Deontay Foreman plays Tampa Bay the championship week as well, and that's been my flex / running back 3. So unless a guy like Cam Akers comes back or I play multiple wideouts, we'll kind of see how that plays out too. So there's going to be some tougher matchups. So we'll see.
Yeah, the other thing is I think Mahomes has Denver in the championship matchup too, which he threw 375 and 3 touchdowns, but 3 picks. And Kelsey had a rough game too. So, I mean, Denver's been a tough matchup for quarterbacks this year, but they're also not going to be playing for much at that point.
Well,
Kansas City's going to be going for a bye and all of that. So,
right, and that's the hope, is that they're playing for the bye, so they play all the way through. But if they do what they did, like Tua did, and they go for 250 and 3 touchdowns in the first half, and they sit Mahomes the second half, it's not going to help me either.
yeah.
They don't know that they will, but going into playoffs, they might. So we'll see.
And
So,
Denver's
all right,
defense is
anyway,
good. So
let's do a quick. What you drinking? Let's start with Andy, because he's always got the fun stuff.
nobody told me what cocktail to drink, so I made some dihydrogen monoxide on the rocks.
Nice. I took a little whiskey on the rocks, and by little, a lot, but it's fine. We're gonna work through this, and we'll pick a different whiskey for a different time.
I didn't get the rocks memo, so I got just normal beer, I guess. But this is Dank Meme. It's a good one. Try it if you haven't.
Is a good one.
Where's it from?
Triptych.
Well, you got to promote the brewery so that they send us our,
I'm sorry. Dank Meme by Triptych.
They're out of Savoy, Illinois, just outside of Champagne.
Champagne.
There we go. Get Tyus to hit some internet.
All right. On that, leave a comment, and I'll go find a new beer, whiskey, something for next week if you guys decide you want to. Andy might actually drink with me next week if somebody tells him what to drink.
Cocktails. Yeah, let me know. What's your favorite cocktail?
And then there's Boyer.
Boyer might be here next week. He might not.
It's a flip of a coin.
Yeah.
Yeah, let us know.
Right.
Do you guys like Boyer? Is it better when he's here, when he's not here?
I'm really hoping that at least in the chat, people are like, no, Boyer's okay.
He did the first year on the potties, the only year we did the potties. I think he did get like most entertaining, or the funniest, or
it's true.
the
Best
most
looking or something.
The most least fantasy relevant analyst,
I'm just here to make sure that the people are entertained. You guys provide the actual stats and things.
All right. So with that, let's jump into week 15. A lot of these matchups don't mean a whole lot, but let's run through start sits. Let's see if Mr. Shows Up Occasionally knows how this thing starts. Boyer, start us off.
Okay. I think I'm starting off with Tyler's matchup.
Holy cow, he's learned.
And I've already got it pulled up. So, looking at...
I didn't pick Andy.
I'm also ready. I didn't know if you were going to call on me or not.
Looking at Ty versus Colin, I got Colin for start sits. Just looking at his bench, he's got Olave on the bench, Jonathan Taylor, Jerick McKinnon could be interesting on the bench. But I mean, when you look at his running backs, he's got James Cook in. I think that was probably by necessity last week. I think you got to pull him. Dallas Duvernay and the flex. I think you're pulling him for probably Taylor and McKinnon's projected for a lot. But is Pacheco out, or have they just been using McKinnon that much?
They've just been using McKinnon a lot.
Yeah, McKinnon had a really good week last week.
And it's against Houston. So, yeah. I mean, I could see them pounding a little bit more with Pacheco, especially later in the game. But, if you're confident in that, that's fine. Olave hasn't done a whole lot, especially since Dalton has come out, because Dalton's been kind of garbage. So, but what am I missing here, boys?
So, you
probably put Olave in for Gallup if you wanted.
Yeah, I think I would.
Yeah. I don't like Devonta Smith, but he's done well the last couple of weeks, so I'm keeping him in.
Yeah, with the team,
against Chicago.
Yeah, right. That's an automatic 10 points.
Putting Olave in, if you want to keep James Cook in, he's more or less your flex option. But Jonathan Taylor's going to take that second spot with Jacobs. Devin Duvernay, or Dallas Duvernay, either way.
Whichever, Duvernay.
Denver Duvernay.
Baltimore Duvernay, because that's
Derek Duvernay.
Mr. Duvernay, I would move to the bench for either James Cook or Jerick McKinnon. If you want to bank on Gallup, that's fine. I'm getting fully off the Baltimore wide receiver core right now.
Yep, I agree. I would put McKinnon in over Cook. Looks like there's going to be snow in that game, and McKinnon's got Houston, which is a very bad run defense. So I would lean that way, but who knows? Maybe Elijah Moore's the play because you got to swing for the fences, and you think he's going to get it, but Colin's going to lose this one, so we've already spent too much time on it.
I'm also, not that it matters, but I'm putting Tanyan over Gesicki.
Fair.
All right, moving over to Ty's team. He's got a stacked bench. I feel like you could pretty much put. I mean, there's like 3 guys that you could just flip onto his team and it'd be fine, especially against Colin. But you're probably looking at Christian Watson, T. Higgins if he's healthy, and even if he says they're gonna play, they weren't even gonna play him last week, so I don't know if you could trust that. Singletary.
He tweaked something pregame, and I don't know, whatever.
Well, apparently he snuck on the field for the first snap, and they said that wasn't supposed to happen. and then Ayuk. So Ty, let's just ask you, who's starting?
I got my lineup set for how I expect to play it this week.
That's what I do too.
Foreman against Carolina against Pittsburgh, I'm fine with right now. Singletary coming off the injury, I'm going to leave him for now. I just let Watson play against the Rams because the Rams are the Rams. But if I had to make an adjustment right now, it would probably be Brandon Ayuk going in at some place with Debo being down for at least the next couple weeks.
Agreed.
So as of now, I'm leaving it. Ayuk's going to be my flip if I have to do something.
Nothing to add to that.
I think the touchdown power of Watson is just too much. Ayuk's been nice, but I like how he got it set up.
And this week really makes no difference because I got Walker beating points as long as I win. If he wins, it doesn't matter. If he loses, and it matters.
I'm also 90% sure you could bench everyone but Mahomes and Kelsey and still have a chance to beat Colin. So,
all right, I got Ty in this one.
All right, same.
Same.
Boyer. All right, Andy, take us to Jeremy versus Duo.
All right, Jeremy versus Duo, another nail biter of a matchup. If I'm Jeremy, I am leaving Dak in against the Jags, even though Lawrence has been kind of hot. Damian Harris, if he's healthy, with the Ramondre Stevenson injury, I think you want to get him into your lineup over Mostert.
Mm-hmm.
And then the flex, if he's healthy, keep Burks in there.
I'm going to shoot for the stars.
Homer.
I'm going to go for the stars with Jamison Williams. He only had 2 targets. And he had 1 catch for 41 yards and a touchdown. But if he gets targeted more than twice and he's working into it, I think Burks has the upside. So don't get me wrong. Burks could be fine. I mean, he's put up an 11 and 13-point game, and then he got the concussion.
He did not practice today.
I think I'm going to go with JMO and just pray for a couple bomb throws.
Yeah, my struggle is just that JMO's still on a snap count, so you've got a pretty narrow window to get it, but he got it last week. So
at this point, I'm actually, if I'm Jeremy, I'm not concerned necessarily with the win. I'm more concerned with not letting Paul make up the 35 points. I might take the consistent points over starting a boomer bust player like JMO.
Great call.
Because if there's a 35-point gap there, I don't want to have 2 points from a player when I could have had 6 or 7 and that end up being the difference.
Great call. Fair. So leave Treylon in.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I'm on board with that. That's good logic. Good being aware of the scenario there, Boyer. On the Duo side, they've got Pittman on the bench, but I don't think I want to get him in over Waddle, Lockett, or Wilson at this point with how they've all been playing. Lockett's a lock for a touchdown these days, which is weird.
Ty, would you keep Lockett in?
Yeah, I would put Pittman against Minnesota's defense and over Jalen Waddle this week.
With the snow?
And
they've not been doing great.
Last week.
Yeah, Buffalo's tough.
Waddle's he got hurt on and off against San Fran, and he didn't play well against the Chargers. So I don't know if there's something else going on there, but he's put up over the last 4 games played, his max is 8.5.
Yeah.
And Minnesota's defense is not great against the pass. So why not give it a shot?
I don't hate it, but I don't think I would do it if I was
not that the duo needs it, but like it doesn't with the snow, with how Miami's offense has kind of been going. I would give it a shot, but he doesn't need it, so it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, Henry and Kamara are locked in. Evan Ingram just came off the huge game. Waller might be coming back, but he just got lifted off the IR and hasn't played in 2 months plus. So I'm probably not getting him in as soon as he's available. Make sure you get some sort of points out of Evan Ingram against Jeremy so that you don't lose this matchup. Who you guys got in this one?
Duo.
Me too. I'm assuming Boyer does too.
Bye, Boyer. This is how Boyer works, we work with it.
He's flighty.
Right. So let's jump to Fryer versus Andy. Mike White, we're not sure on Fryer's side. We're not sure if Mike White is playing. Matter of fact, would you switch Jared Goff in over Mike White, or are you leaving Mike White in?
I'm leaving Mike White in if he's playing because the Jets' defense is good. And I'm not super jazzed about Goff against the Jets' defense.
Yeah, Goff put up 18 against Buffalo. I mean,
yeah, it really depends on what the story is on White.
Right. But coming off that injury, going to the hospital, trying to get checked, having X-rays, MRIs. If he gets a bad hit, he might be out for the game.
That's true.
So I think I'm just going to go with the safe bet and put Goff in. But I understand riding White too because he's been hot when he's been healthy.
Yeah.
Boy, you got to say in that?
I mean, I think Saturday's injury report might help him make that decision with how they put White on there. But I'm kind of with Ty on that one. I think I just trust in Goff. He should at least be solid, and there's just too much potential for White to be knocked out of the game or ineffective. I mean, it's hard to throw with that kind of an injury with how painful it is. So I'm on Ty's team, I think, on that.
All right. He's got Adams, Judy, and Evans. We're leaving them on. Rashad White, James Conner are fine. The only option would be Latavius Murray or Jeff Wilson Jr. on the bench, but I'm not putting either of them in. You guys are cool leaving it as is then?
Yep.
All right, cool. So we're going to jump over to Andy's side. I'm not high on anybody on Andy's bench at this point, other than maybe the upside of Lazard. But the last handful of weeks, he's not been good with Christian Watson back. Dallas Goedert, I am not playing coming off IR. I don't think he will play this week. And even if he did, I mean, I guess if he's playing, I'm playing him over Freiermuth probably. But Carolina's defense isn't great. They do enough, but whatever. It's a wash for me. I would leave Freiermuth in. You're locked. It doesn't really matter. I mean, it does because.
Yeah, I mean, I'm the third playoff team either way, so this matchup doesn't matter at all to me. I'm leaving Freiermuth in because he's a fine tight end. He's, tight end 6-ish, right. And Goddard is probably a spot or two ahead of him just in tight end rankings in general, but not one that I need to rush it back because I'm starting Higbee or somebody that's farther down the list. Freiermuth's good.
Yep.
And you want to reward that kind of player and what he's been able to do for your team while Goddard's been out.
Yeah. We got a Brady Bledsoe scenario here.
All right. So that's about the only change we're looking at making, maybe, but probably not. So we're leaving it as is. Who's winning this matchup?
Fine, I'll take it.
Boyer.
I'm going to go with Andy.
Okay, me too. I'm not making
if Andy had lost last week and this was really intense in the top division, I'd be tempted to pick Fryer just to be right if something stupid happens, but I'll pick Andy because it doesn't matter.
All right, go to the Charlie Wen game next, Boyer.
All right, so we got Walker. Looking at the bench, he's got. I mean, Marquise Brown is coming back, but no Murray, so I'm not liking that at all. Same with Hopkins. I'm probably keeping his team as is. It's a stud team. Um, I mean, it's a darn shame that Murray went out because that Daniel Jones now becomes just like that big hole on the team. But there's really no decision, I don't think, here between him and Derek Carr against New England. I think you have to play Daniel Jones, even though Washington's defense, specifically their front seven, is going to give them fits. You got to go with the rushing, just like floor of Daniel Jones in hopes that he can get some more after that.
Agreed.
All right, going over to Charlie's team. He's got I don't know. Are you playing? Fields is questionable. How questionable is he? Day to day. So I mean, you're playing Fields if he plays at all, right? I mean, you're not
Yeah.
worried about anything else. Charlie's relatively locked into where he's at, so just play the guy. No worries. You don't have to just hope that Watson gets his hand out of his pants and actually starts playing actual football. Oh man, his bench stinks.
Yes.
I'm probably just keeping his team as is. Otherwise, there's really no other roster decisions I can make. I mean, Claypool, I'm not confident in. Madison, yeah, I mean, Spiller and White shouldn't even be on a roster at this point. I'm not sure. So
With the only thing I'd say is with the snow, with the weather in Baltimore, Buffalo, maybe if Claypool wasn't playing Philly, I would make that switch. But
I mean,
with
and
Philly's
Fields would
defense,
have
I'm
to
not
start
playing
for me.
Claypool.
And Fields
Claypool
would have to
missed
start.
Claypool missed practice today with the knee issue, so that's not helping either.
No. So I'm leaving it as is with you. I'm good with that.
Yeah. Who you guys got?
Walker.
Charlie? No, I'm picking Walker, but Charlie, I'm praying for you, man. Go ahead and make me wrong on this one.
You need the big upset here.
Actually, I don't. To be honest with you, I don't know if I'd rather play Andy or Wildcard. So I'm not sure if I want to be one or two yet.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Walker.
All right,
I think Ty, your hope is Fields. If Fields plays, that's your chance.
And like I said, I don't know where I want to be yet. So whatever.
You
Doesn't
need
matter.
like
Top
60
two.
points from Fields.
I don't play Walker week 1, and that's what matters. All right, Andy, take us to the next one.
Which one is that? We go off your list.
Chris and Paul.
Okay. Just want to make sure. All right. So Chris has Slayton against Washington, or one of your Pittsburgh wide receivers on the bench if you wanted to put them in over Dobbins. Cleveland's rushing defense is not great, and Dobbins had a really good game last week, so I don't think I'm making any changes there. Obviously,
He's your only offense.
Yeah, so I don't see any changes on Chris's side. Jeff Driscoll or Hunter Henry? Do you guys have a preference there? Also, how many quarterbacks / tight ends are there in this freaking league?
Apparently, all of them now. Like,
God damn it!
Driscoll put up 9.2 or 9.1 last week.
He did. That's true.
They saw what Ohtani did for baseball, and they're just hoping that somebody can be that kind of dual player in football. They're just praying that they can get some buzz out of it.
Is Driscoll even play? I mean, is he playing regularly?
He was on the field for 33 snaps, mostly for like running purposes, but he was on the field a lot. And he's technically Mills' backup, so
he's got to have a permanent spot because they've exhausted his 3 move-ups from the practice squad. So if they want to keep him and be able to keep him on roster, he's now has a permanent roster spot, and apparently they're going to use him if he's got a permanent spot. So
I did not know that that's how that worked. Like
apparently.
30-man roster in baseball.
Right, yeah. So he's been elevated 3 times from the practice squad, so they had to give him a permanent roster spot.
Yeah, fuck it.
Otherwise,
I'm
he'd be
playing
eligible to be
Driscoll.
stolen. So I play Driscoll.
Sure.
He's gonna be on. He's gonna be on there, and I think that without Damian Pierce, they're probably gonna keep running him.
Yeah. The only guy on Paul's bench worth talking about is DJ Moore, who left last week's game with an ankle issue, but he practiced in full today. So I think I'm putting him in over. Jesus, Paul, your team is bad. Over Van Jefferson. I mean, Van Jefferson didn't do shit until that game-winning drive last week, so I don't feel bad about it. You got to put him in over
Nobody did
Jefferson.
shit until that game-winning drive last week on that team.
True.
And Carolina is holding their own destiny to playoffs. So
Crazy, right?
they have to keep playing hard.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't think Green Bay's defense is going to let Baker Mayfield do a whole lot against them. So I think that's probably the right move.
All right, so DJ Moore over Van Jefferson. Who you guys got in this one?
Chris.
I want things to be interesting. I'm going to go with Paul. I just want to see him win it and see what happens on Jeremy's side. Not say I want to see Jeremy naked or whatever again. I'm just saying I want to see it close. I want to see some drama.
All right,
Andy, go ahead.
Solidly going with Chris on this one. Paul's team is trash.
I don't disagree.
Warriors got to make up a game on you, otherwise you win.
He does.
Anyway.
I figured he was going to go for whatever I didn't pick in the Robbie Boyer matchup.
He has to pick himself.
Eh.
All right. Anyway, let's all right, let's find out. Let's go to the Robbie Boyer matchup. Robbie is sitting on Kenneth Walker on the bench right now. With him coming off the injury, playing the Niners, you put him in with Barkley and Harris over Zonovan Knight, or do you leave Knight in against Detroit?
I don't like Knight against Detroit at all. Detroit's run defense has been good. I know I keep saying it. I know nobody believes me, but it also keeps happening that they keep shutting guys down. Last week it was Dalvin Cook had 7.6 points. Their leading scorer against the Lions for running back since week 7 is still Matt Breida with 8.9 points.
So they're not committed to Walker playing this week is what it's saying in the updates, but they're also not committing to him fully playing. Luckily, they play the Niners tomorrow or tonight, since you guys all see this on Thursday. Mm-hmm. They play tonight against the Niners, so at least you'll know what his designation is. You can make a decision on Walker. But they may also say he's good to go, and then he may get half the snaps as he normally does.
Yeah, it's a tough spot.
Yeah, I'm playing A.J. Dillon.
Well, that was going to be my other option. But if it's A.J. Dillon or Knight, I'm going to keep Knight in. The Rams suck, but I'm going to keep Knight in because Knight's been good. I don't care what AJ
Dillon has 14 and 17 points before the bye. The Packers realize that if they're going to win games, they're going to have to feed the Thigh Master. And I mean, I don't know. The Knight matchup is whatever, but I like AJ Dillon, so I'm going with AJ Dillon.
Okay, Dillon had 14 and 17, which are good games for him right now. Zonovan's been 10, 11, and 13 consistently over the last 3 weeks.
Sure, so and AJ Dillon had a bye, so you can't just say the 3 weeks and then say, oh, AJ Dillon had 2 weeks in a bye.
Yeah, but okay. So the week before that, 2, 6, 4, 6, 1, sure. 5, 3, 8.
Sure, I'm just saying is that I think that the Packers have figured out that they've got to give AJ Dillon the ball a lot more than they have been.
Week 1, 15. No other week over 10 until the last 2 before the bye.
Right, but I mean, that's like, what have you done for me lately? That's why we're even talking about Zonovan Knight right now.
Zero consistency.
I'm sorry, Zonovan Knight had 0 points before the 3 weeks that he actually started. So what is your point?
I thought you liked to
I'm
argue
playing Kenneth Walker.
I thought you liked to argue with Andy.
Him.
All right. Anyway.
So you can't talk to me about the previous weeks that Zonovan Knight didn't even get a point.
0 consistency.
You're right. Zonovan Knight's very consistent with those zeros week 1 through 15 or whatever.
1 week prior to the last two. All right, moving on. We're done with Robbie because I don't have any other lineup decisions on his side. Let's jump to your ugly ass team. Josh Allen, Tariq Hill, and Tyler Bass all playing in snow this weekend, assuming they get their 4 inches of snow or whatever the hell they're expecting.
Hey, 4 inches is a lot.
It is.
Yeah, don't tell me it's not.
So Boyer has Jermichael Hasty, Breece Hall injured, Cooper Kupp injured, Tyler Boyd questionable, Dameon Pierce doubtful. So the only lineup decision we have for Boyer's side is George Kittle versus Dalton Schultz versus Paris Campbell. If you want to go 2 wide receivers or 2 tight end set. Andy, thoughts on getting Kittle in?
Yes, get Kittle in. Debo's out. I like getting Kittle in. I'm going to get him in over
Paris Campbell. Yep. That would be my suggestion as well. Boyer, any thoughts?
Yeah, I think that the injury train like passed its normal stop at Tyler's team and then saw me and was like, oh crap, we got to stop at a Tyler of some kinds. But I mean, I'm looking back into the playoffs at this point, boys. I know where my team's at. I know that it's struggling. It's got some guys who can get some high points. Kittle is one of them. So I've been struggling between the consistency of Campbell, but I think I would need like the double-digit option that Kittle can give over that. So I don't think that I have enough unless I get some points out of that flex spot over Robbie.
All right. So with that, who's going to win this matchup?
I got Robbie. Sorry, bud.
I'm also going to take Robbie.
I'm going to believe in my team. Not in myself, but my team. And hope that somehow that snow game is more of the defense keeps slipping around and the offense scores a bunch of points instead of what we normally see, which is
run all day
long. So.
Or you remember back on the Bills bye week when we told Ty to go ahead and drop Tyler Bass because late in the year, kicking in the snow is not what you want out of your kicker?
Yeah,
this is what you're dealing with right now.
Yeah, but to be fair, Tyler Bass has also kind of kept me, given me a chance the last couple of games.
And you know what else?
He's healthy. Lose it out of my guy. Right, and he's healthy. That is the number one thing right now. But the last few weeks, he had 13, 26, 11, 7, and 10 points. I mean, he's pretty like my top contributor over the last 5 weeks.
True.
Yeah, not happy about you guys. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Doesn't matter. No, doesn't matter.
Listen, he's gonna hit 5. He's gonna hit 5 field goals in the snow to go along with 2 Josh Allen rushing touchdowns, and Tyreek Hill is gonna have 3 touchdowns after picking up a bunch of fumbles and just returning them because he's stupid. Done.
Hey, those yards don't count. I learned.
Those yards don't count.
I just want the touchdowns. I'll take the touchdowns.
All right.
Fine. Anyway. The fumble happens on the 10, and he returns it for a touchdown. 10 yards doesn't matter.
The good thing is. This matchup's done. We're done talking about your shit team, and I apologize when you don't make the playoffs. We're moving on. You know what we have tonight, though, is we have a joke that has not been around for a while. So we need to put a joke back in here. So
your face isn't enough?
Boyer comes back, and he thinks he's the funny guy now.
It's the beard that makes him funny, I think.
Grow up. All right. Anyway, there's a bunch of scientists in a lab, right? They're testing this frog, see how far he can jump. They all looked at this frog and go, jump! And they all yelled, jump. And when they yelled, he jumped 20 feet. And they were all impressed. They're like, oh, man, if he can do that with all 4 legs, how far can he jump with 3? They cut off one of his legs, put him back at the start, and they go, jump! He jumps, gets to 15 feet still. 3 legs, 15 feet. That's pretty good. Let's cut off another leg. This frog has 2 legs. Put him back at the start line. They look at each other and like, oh, we hope this works. And they all yell, and they're like, jump! And he jumps 10 feet. Still pretty good. They cut off another leg. He's got one leg. They're like, there's no way this could work, right? He can't jump with one leg. So they all back up and they're like, jump. He jumps 5 feet. And they're like, okay, let's try this again. They cut off his last leg, put him back at the start line. They all back up and look at him. And there's no way. They all turn and they look and they go, jump. And so they all look at each other and they write on their clipboards. They're like, man, when you cut
That was a good joke.
Andy, are you gonna tell him or am I?
Ty, you froze at the punchline. We didn't get it.
oh. Well, this is good. I still nailed this one, right?
That is the joke of the year right there, my friend.
Oh my god, that was perfect. Ty's internet coming in clutch with the joke this week.
Ty, how did you time that internet thing? I'm assuming that was the joke, right?
Oh shit!
You were
All right,
clear
what's the
the
punchline?
entire time. No issues the whole podcast.
If you guys want to hear what the punchline is, you're gonna have to come back next week. I'll retell the joke. all the scientists look at each other, and they yell jump, and the frog didn't jump, and so they wrote on their clipboard and they said, when you cut the last leg off, the frog turned deaf.
That's a good joke.
That's
not
not
as
bad.
good as the internet's joke.
Yeah, the
but
internet
that's a good
nailed it
joke.
for you.
All right, on that note, I'm gonna go cry. I'm gonna go call some beer sponsors and see if I can get one to sponsor me.
Budweiser, they have the frog commercial, right?
On that note, we're gonna hit you guys next week. Good luck this week. Hopefully you make playoffs. Whoever the hell's in playoffs, I don't even care anymore because the whole joke's out the window. The whole podcast is pretty much worthless. Like, subscribe, do your thing, make fun of me, buy me extra internet. I don't know. On that note, happy birthday to me. I'll talk to you guys later. We're out.